Born for Sports. The day after the ending of the 2022 Mets season. A season that was unfulfilled. And it's disappointing. There's no doubt about it. It's disappointing. You win 101 games. You have first place for a lot of the season. And, unfortunately, the race dictated what happened at the end was the Atlanta Braves caught them at the right moment. And they got it done. They got the division. And it ultimately sent the Mets down to the wild card game against a team that matches up very well against them. That doesn't mean they're better than them. They were better in this series. But, there's teams sometimes you play in the playoffs that are just at the right time. They catch you at the right time, and that's what happened. The Mets struggled against San Diego in a couple of series, and, the tone was set with Scherzer. Scherzer's start was so awful on Friday, and that just set the tone. And, they didn't recover. And that's the bottom line. We won Saturday night, but yesterday was Musgrove's day. He dominated the Mets. I don't want to hear about all the Vaseline stuff. It could have been a fact, it couldn't have been, but the bottom line is they couldn't do nothing with him. And that's the bottom line, There was times in September they could have sealed this division and they didn't, getting swept by the Cubs, losing 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. Those games, you got to win those games if you want to win a division, and they didn't get it done at that time, and it cost them, It cost them. But Max Scherzer's start Friday night set the tone, and the Mets didn't recover. That's the unfortunate reality. So it's on to the offseason, another disappointment. And, it's kind of a weird kind of thing to say disappointment because the expectations were high, and that is facts. It was disappointing. We wanted more. We actually felt like, I know I did, I felt like we were World Series contender. But, based on what we've been the last 6 years and probably more than that, under the Wilpon ownership, there's general optimism now. And we should embrace that as a Met fan and embrace the fact that our expectations should be World Series. And if we don't get it, it's a disappointment. We're not those kind of Mets from before. We're the New York Mets under Steve Cohen, and we should be contending for a World Series. And that's what we were supposed to be doing this year, and we didn't get it done. So it is disappointing, So it's on to the offseason. It's going to be a lot of question marks, a lot of free agents that got to get signed or let go. Jake DeGrom, is he coming back? Who knows? You want to overpay, a 34, 35-year-old pitcher, that kind of money, it's going to be a tough decision. Diaz, you got to bring him back. Nemo, for the right price, you got to bring him back. And listen, the main focus should be the offense too. This lineup has to get upgraded. Lindor and Alonso, they need some more help. Most of the second half of the season, this lineup did not hit without them hitting. So they have to address that. They got to get a couple more players in here. But we'll see how it goes, It's Steve Cohen Mets now, so that means every offseason can be special to help us win. So let's see what happens. Born for Sports.